Folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated. Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including Forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's okay. Hope you're doing great. You had a great day. For the peoples that are in New York time zone, Eastern time zone. So we are back at it again tonight, and we've been at it since this morning. So first off, we're gonna start by reviewing a trade that we took this morning on US 30. Hi Vince, how are you doing today? This morning we were wrong about US 30 and gold at the same, not so much on gold, but kinda, because we were expecting to have some push down on US 30 and gold, which was not the case, unfortunately. Good day on the charts today. Great. I'm happy to hear that. So on US 30 this morning, we had a trade that was based off of this breaker here on the 15-minute time frame. A sell trade I was taking based on the breaker and this up close candle inside of the breaker. Like this morning, I had someone in the live asking me if they could enter the trade, but as I always said, it's not a signal channel. We're not giving out signals to enter, buy here, sell here, but we're just trying to do our best to analyze the market and show others how we see the market. And if you don't know how the market works, you cannot trade the market. So as I said, like this trade, if someone took it and they were just basing their analysis on my analysis without having their own criteria, they would have lost money actually on this trade. As you can see here, it started dropping. At this point, it already gave a 1-to-1.2 or 1.4 risk reward ratio, but as you can see here, this candle closed very bullish, and also this candle dropped inside of an imbalance that was formed on yesterday's price action. That definitely gave us a different vibe from what we were expecting. So at this candle close, I believe I have closed my trade entirely because there was a news at 9. I believe the news happened here, and even at the news here, we see that there was not much push down, which should have happened. So based off of that, and the news was also positive. So based off of that, so we were able to see that we were wrong in the direction initially. So we closed out a trade with $30-something, still profitable while being wrong about the directions, which is why you should not base your trade on somebody else's analysis. The level of confidence that I had in the trade and the level of analysis that I've put in allow me to see that I was wrong at the beginning, because based off of what price is doing at the time, I can see that my initial expectations were wrong, which you cannot see if you're not the one doing the analysis. So as we have seen today, we had a big push up on US 30 and on gold as well. FSG is asking for Nasdaq. I personally don't have a good read on Nasdaq. It's kind of too aggressive, although I like aggressivity, but it's kind of too aggressive for me. Here you can see on gold, price reacted nicely on this consistent encroachment of a wick here on the 1 hour time frame. There was this wick that was created yesterday. See the reaction nicely and then reversed right there. It broke yesterday's high and also enter a weekly inversion fair value gap that we have drawn out earlier. If you go to the weekly here, you can see it's exactly inside of this inversion fair value gap here on the weekly. Okay, so basically on gold we were expecting the movement up, although it was not that much that we were expecting. We were not expecting that much movement. We were expecting some movements inside of this fair value gap on the 1 hour and then a push back down, but unfortunately it did gives us a buy here but push higher. Nasdaq, bro, we have, I mean, there's not the futures or US 100. Yes, already. I like to trade with O&S data, but I don't recall how they name their Nasdaq.
Looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check is I'm chess, what's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.
Yeah, definitely Nasdaq, US 30, they are all currently bullish. NIS 100, yes, they are all bullish, Nasdaq and US 30. I mean, those moves usually in tandems, although Nasdaq is faster than US 30. Yes, definitely. We had a big drop for USG JPY, for example, this morning. So we could see something in AUD USD. So yeah, basically on Nasdaq we are bullish. I mean, I like to call it US 100 because Nasdaq usually I refer to futures contract. So at this point, I would consider this high here as target for Nasdaq. As you can see here, that was a drop inside of this fair value gap here that has closed entirely, and also this down close candle, although very little, but it was a down close candle inside of it. But gold, in terms of target for gold, was left over I put towards my dreaming, but the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for. As I've said on the weekly, we're currently inside of this weekly inversion fair value gap. I am currently without a bias on what gold wants to do long term. Long term, I'm currently without a bias. I don't know what it wants to do long term. I don't have a read on that yet, but I would want to see this week close a little bit below this inversion. I would want to see this fair value gap plays as support for price, if I can say it like that. As you can see here, this was the weekly fair value gap here. It didn't hold price, but right now I would want to see price find support in that fair value gap and push up, continue pushing up. But as I said, no bias. But right now we can simply see what it wants to do on the lower time frames, for example, and try to catch some moves down there. Currently on the daily, it's retracing a little bit. But one thing I don't like to do is trade after a big range day. Usually the market tends to consolidate, one, and secondly, not to forget that we have news coming, I believe by the end of this week, that will definitely influence we have non-farm paywall coming this Friday, so this is definitely something to be wary of. We have a large range day today and we have non-farm paywall Friday, so market's gonna be real choppy. So choppy in the sense of it can do anything, like in before non-farm paywall. So I would be very cautious with any pair you're trading.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign.
As for now, we can see that we have a beautiful push up here that left a big imbalance here. Let's take a look at UJ. Same thing here for UJ, big imbalance, and this looks like a balanced price range here, up and down, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Those only. Price action for today here. We probably can expect a little bit of retracements. I'm willing to see price go up there. So let's see what lower time frame tells us here. So we instantly, by taking this high, opening of Asian 8.
Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded.
A little bit of drop inside of this fair value gap, and it started pushing up. Also looking at AUD JPY. Here you can see beautiful drop into this gap here, on a 1 hour gap here at the opening, and started pushing up for yesterday's high here. But so far we're not seeing any trades. On UJ, I'm currently bearish, as I believe that price should continue pushing down. We are currently a little bit short of the 25% retracement here, where we have this gap here. I believe it was on the 1 hour. Yes, it's a 1 hour gap here, which is exactly above the 25% retracement. So I would be willing to see price go up there inside of this and then drop down. So at this point, I'm not seeing any trade yet. Not before I have this sign that price wants to, at least return into that fair value gap. Hyper trader. What do you mean by hyper trader? I'm curious. Yes, Asian markets that just open. Oh, hybrid. Oh yeah, okay. I got it. Well, we can get a retracement to the 50%. The reason why I marked up this level here, if you can see on the 1 hour, this is exactly in between the 50 and the 62% retracement here. That's an inversion fair value gap, as this is considered to be a balanced price range. Uh, yes, it's balanced based off of this price being a big push up with those imbalances, a big push down with those imbalances as well. So I'm also open to see price go up there, but if it go higher, then price is definitely not doing what it's supposed to do, or what we want it to do. But if not, if I can find a confirmation that price wants to go down from here, I would be interested in that.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they're scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been
I mean,
looking for somebody
I
who
am
can
not
save him. Instead of searching
buying
inside
right
for
now
what
because
they gave him,
I
a
don't like
strong
to
will,
buy
strong
after a
mind
move has
causes
already started.
mayhem.
To
We
me,
can change the world,
the
change
best
minds,
buy
rearrange them.
would have
Staying
been
on
at
pace,
this
running the
level
race.
here
Life is a chase, I don't wanna
at
place, I wanna be
19.
first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the
But I
right
was not
mind
in
can
part
take
of
you
the
so
chart at that
far.
time.
It's like you
I
lived
would
a
be
few
interested in buying
lifetimes.
there,
Break off, I'ma break off
but
from the
at this
beat.
point,
Think it stay soft, you can
price can
change
go
lives,
there
you
and
gain thoughts,
reverse
never waste
or
time. You
go
got
there.
one shot, you got one life, better
But if it
profile
gives
for the
another
use life, make a dream
another
jump, no
entry
life
for a
on
buy
the screen, boss, just my life and free
after
thoughts. Could try to play, but you never
going through this level, I would definitely be buying to this level.
from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my
Yep,
dreaming.
here
But
for
the only thing
correction
in life
would
that
be
has
interesting to
meaning
see.
are the things you gotta
So
work for.
someone, I mean, I would be pleased to see gold return to that level. Yesterday's high.
hours it takes to get some power.
to feel part of the
Cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're
void,
prouder, and
imbalance here.
they're just young downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring. Yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart? Are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs. Are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown.
Very clean price action here, nothing too choppy.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right
9:30
now.
we have
I'm losing it.
AUD CPI,
Shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh.
and tomorrow morning we have some news in Euro, Spanish CPI, also for USD. We also have some news.
There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go
Market
get your own
that's-
tissue.
seems to be a little bit slow on the check. Moves at the open. Currently for the day we at 30 points. 30. Not bad.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give, don't ask shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this, see, go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man, they don't know shit.
How many setups do you have for your playbook? Can you explain your trading concepts, please? Well, I base my trading mostly on ICT's concepts. One of my favorite, I would say a setup is usually a combination of a breaker it's usually a good, beautiful setup when it's backed by the bias. And I also trade the macros. Macros, I trade them usually with golds and also futures in futures, like for ES, S&P 500. I trade the macros. There are many ways to trade the macros. One of the way that I trade it is break and retest. For example, here at 850, from before this macro, from 850 to 19, we had this price, and then it breaks out of that range, and then it retested it. Usually I enter my trade at the 25% retracement from the macros range here, 25%, and the stop is below 79, one tick or two tick below 79%. This, I find it to be more consistent with the futures contract, and also golds, US 30. I haven't tested it on NASDAQ. This is a beautiful setup that I like as well for the macros. And for Forex, I am starting to test it, but not so much. But I usually trade GJ in London session, so I will be seeing how it reacts on the UJ. But those pairs that moves in London, they are a little bit tricky. Like for example, what happens is it can create a like for example, the London macros, we have one that starts at 233 and ends at 3. Usually you can have a liquidity swap, what ICT calls turtle soup. You can create a range, and then price goes down below the range, take out liquidity, and then goes up above the range. So that would be the first move down, would be a fake out. So you would have had the wrong setup. So that's why I said this the macros backed by a daily bias. That means you need to have a bias to profit from the macros, not just taking trades just like that. And some pairs works on some macros best. Like for gold, I find it better to trade the 850 910 and the 950 1010. But some other pairs you will find it better to trade it during London. So I have basically those two setups, and on US 30 I trade the US the equities market open at 9:30 in a way. Like for example, currently it doesn't work much on US 30. What happens is at 9:30 on US 30 you usually get a big move, and it usually take out a high or a low. And if it takes out a high, I know that we're gonna have a push up, and before that push up, it usually creates a fair value gap, and then return into the fair value gap. So I trade the 9:30 open on US 30 as well. So I would say that those three are my main setup, and also on Asian setup, Asian, I would say for UJ, I like to see a little bit of liquidity sweep. It does that a lot in Asian session for UJ. Like for example, at the open, 8, 820, 830, it usually sweep out liquidity before moving higher. That's one of the reason why I am not really interested into buying that, because I haven't really seen any liquidity swap yet. Like for example here at 8 exactly, it did dip down a little bit below here, but I haven't seen anything significant. We have these lows here that stays clean, so I haven't seen anything significant down there here at 8. That would kind of prove that price would want to go higher at this point. So it can, but it didn't give me my entry setups. If I was in the market earlier, I would have probably taken a trade here as we were shifting from a sell to a buy program here. I would probably take a buy trade here, but I usually come in the markets around 7:30, 7:45. So I would say breaker plus fair value gap or breaker plus order block. First, second macro, and third the US 30 open. Please open at 9:30. Mostly for US 30 and Nasdaq. If US 100. If I don't see a trade on US 30, I might be willing to look at US 100 and see if it presents itself. Sorry about that. Let me bring that down. Thank you. Brought that down. Yes, definitely. But I don't like to take too many trades. Kinda plays with my. I'm the type of trader that takes one or two trades and then I'm done. Because it kind of plays with my mind when I take too many trades. If I take too many trades, I'm winning, I become overconfident, and I could lose like all the money in just one trade. If I take too many trades, I'm losing. It can put me down real fast and destroy my confidence in my analysis, and kind of get analysis paralysis, where you can do an analysis but you're afraid to take the trade at the end. So I like to take one or two trades at most, not many trades. Like on this challenge on the 25K, I've been currently losing since the beginning. I would say I'm currently down 2%, but psychologically I'm okay. I mean, in a sense, like, because the fact that I am not risking much and I am not aggressive on the challenge, I'm down 2%. I believe I'm at 15 or 16 trade, and I'm only down 2%. If I was being aggressive, I could have lost the account already. But as I'm going slowly, I'm okay. And when I do an analysis, I'm okay with taking a trade, with taking a loss. So I don't really like to take too many trades. I usually risk 0.25% per trade. And sometimes I even risk down to 0.10%. If I already take a trade in a session and I lost that trade, if I'm taking a second trade in the same session, I will be doing 0.10%. That's me not being aggressive, because I can be aggressive. Because I remember I had passed a challenge once, it was in two trades. I was 2% on the first trade. I made like 6%, I believe, and then I risked like 1% on the second trade and make. And I mean, I didn't even had a risk to reward ratio. I just made the rest amount of money and then closed the trade. Didn't even wait till my take profit. So I can be aggressive. I have passed the challenge already in like 3 weeks. It was a three-phase challenge. 3 weeks, 1 week per phase. But that's being aggressive. I have also lost a challenge that way. I have also lost a challenge that way as well. Even though at the end I really decreased the risk, but it ended up losing the accounts. Philemon is asking, I saw you checking the news earlier. Could you recommend any resource where I could learn how to read the news and how they can affect the market? So basically, myself, I'm not the best person to recommend how to recommend a resource to read the news. I don't use the news as a fundamental analysis to know what price might want to. I only look at the news to know what to expect in the market. If I should expect high volatility or low volatility. I only look at the news to back my analysis, not to back my analysis in the sense of, should price move to that level fast or slow. Like for example, I can do an analysis, and if during the time we also have like CPI, or we also have non-farm payroll coming up, so I know that they're gonna use those news events to move price in the direction that they want it to go. And I also know that I should have a bigger stop loss because they're gonna play around with price at the same time. So I use news in that sense, but not in the way that this news is positive, price is gonna go up, this news is negative, price is gonna go down. No. I usually use news just to see if price is gonna go up fast or go up slow. That's how I use the news. Like for example, this morning, I closed my US 30 position because there was a news, and it was to be it was supposed to be positive for the currency. Let me see. It was first one at 9. The home sales. See here it says usual effect actual greater than forecast is good for currency. So when the actual price, this one it was say you have the actual price is greater than the forecast. So so it's usually greater than it's usually good for the currency, which means you can have um, good impact for USD mostly. But as I was after this news, if price were gonna go to my target, it should have the news should have pushed it to the target. But unfortunately, it didn't. So that's a sign to me that they might want to do something different. I might be wrong in my analysis. And also, we had a second news at 10 jolts, which usually move the market pretty much. But as I was not seeing the market wanting to go in my directions, I didn't want to risk this news taking me inside of the marketplace. So I just move to the sidelines and watch. I could have re-entered in the opposite direction, but unfortunately I was not in front of the chart, so I couldn't see what was going on at the time. So I don't use the news as a mean to know what price wants to do or not. I don't do that. So I cannot refer you to anything. But I definitely think that you should check YouTube. You will find someone that talks about it. Definitely. You will definitely find someone that talks about it. News for their analysis. Price is playing around that level so much. I am very much patient. Uh, Trading is a game of patience. Do you know what the win rate is with your strategy? I am not gonna be saying that I'm 100% certain that my strategy win rate is this percent or this percent, because I believe that a lot of people out there that are saying that, oh, this strategy is 80%, it's 60%, it's 70%, they are wrong in a sense that to have a strategy tested for a good amount of time, you should be using it for a good amount of time. Like, for example, if I have a strategy and I'm only trading for 2 years, I cannot say that this strategy is 60% win rate. This amount of time is not sufficient. And that's one thing. And the second thing is that I might have a win rate and the strategy have a win rate. Because as a trader, we are different from the strategy. I mean, we have us applying the strategy that is faulty as a human being, and we have the strategy itself. So when we say that we're trading a strategy manually, and then this strategy has a win rate of this percent and this percent, it's kind of faulty. But if I were to put a number on it, I would say between 50 to 65%. Because manually, it's difficult to say that precisely if you haven't been trading for a long period of time. Like when I say long, I mean 10 years. Because to definitely say that this strategy has a win rate of 60%, you must have take all the trades that meet the criteria of the strategy, which is not possible as human being. You couldn't take all the trade that meets the criteria. So I would say just like that, between 50 to 65% win rate. But they usually have a higher high risk reward ratio, more than 1 to 2 usually. How many markets do you trade? Maurice Laka is asking. I trade. If you say when you say markets, do you mean like, for example, I trade currencies, I trade GJ, USD, and sometimes UJ, sometimes EJ, EUR as well. Um, in tandem with GJ. Sometimes I can find divergence between those two pairs in London session, EUR and GBP. So sometimes I trade one of them depending on what the market is doing. Asian session, I am interested in UJ mostly. New York session, US 30 gold. So those are the markets that I trade. And also, I'm interested in futures. Futures, it's like for US 30, you have YM. For for US 100, you have Nasdaq, and for S&P, for US 500, you have S&P 500. They kind of move the same, but it's a different market. It's a US market, I would say, different from CFDs, and they tend to be cleaner markets than CFDs or Forex. So I love futures, S&P 500 and Nasdaq, but S&P 500 mostly. Those are the markets that I look at. Um, and one thing is I don't trade all of them at the same time. It's not like that. When I say that I trade GJ and UJ, it's been like month since I have looked at GJ and I mean not UJ but EJ. It's been months since I've looked at GJ and EJ because it's been hard waking up at London session. It's been really hard waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning those past few months. So last time I trade GJ was in March, I believe. Yes, March, April. But I haven't traded them since. And last time I trade US, I mean, I still trade US 30, but less frequently. Like during May, April, May, I only traded US 30, only US 30 every morning 9:30. And during this time, I also passed the challenge that I was talking about earlier, taking trade on US 30, because at this time my strategy was working every day. Like I said, I took a challenge and passed it in 3 weeks, 3 phase, 1 week for each phase. The strategy works losses, of course. I'm human, but not the strategy. The strategy didn't have losses. And I remember when I was taking the challenge, take a loss today. Okay, that's fine. I just wait for tomorrow and just make twice, 3 times the money back. So trade those market US 30, gold, USD EUR GBP and futures. But my advice to someone starting with trading right now, the win rate is not so much if you know the strategy is a winning strategy. When I say winning, it might be 20%, it might be 50%, it might be 60%. The win rate of the strategy might not be so much of a thing at the beginning, because as people, many people say, you might flip a coin, and if you know risk management well, you will be profitable in trading. So the most focus should be on risk management. As I like I said, you could be taking 6, 7 loss in a row, and then you make one trade and it covers all these losses. So the win rate is important, but not so much. Focus on risk management, not losing much more than what you can afford. Like, for example, on this challenge, I probably would have passed already or failed already if I were to be aggressive. If I were to be aggressive, I would have passed or failed already. Because on some setups, I could have been more aggressive and they would have played out well. And some setup, I could have been making more, passing the challenge in just one trade. That's one thing. Sometimes those setup occur, but if you're managing your risk tightly, you might not profit that much from those setup. Well, I would say that price definitely might want to go higher because it it was too clean up there. It didn't quite touch the fair value gap, or it did touch it, but just without any reaction to it really. So I would say that this is a clean high, and as I usually expected, it might want to go down there, taking out those liquidity here, probably here, probably, or it might just from this point on push up and go through this gap. But at this point, I'm not seeing anything that is of interest to me. And that's one thing about trading. Most of the time, you're not doing anything. Most of the time, in a sense, doing anything, you're not pushing any buttons. You definitely are reading prices, but you're not pushing any buttons. You're not selling. You're not buying. Most of 90% of the time, you're not doing 95% of the time, you're not doing any of those things. You're just sitting and watching, and that's boring. That's definitely boring sometimes. But in general, this month has been, not this month, the two previous months from July to this August, they were not good months for me. I'm currently down on my funded account, a big drawdown, 7% drawdown. I managed, I believe it was last week, to pull it back up to 4%, I believe. And in a single trade, I was, it was so draining, man. I mean, psychologically, I pushed it back up to 4% drawdown, and in a single trade, I lost 3% back again. I mean, single trade, but multiple entries, not just 3% on just one entry, but multiple entries on a single trade. I was so confident in the trade, in person drawdown again. So I've also lost a challenge during July. Yes, during the month of July, I also lost a challenge. So these 2 months, July and August, they are not so good. So it's currently been almost 2 months since I've made a withdrawal on my funded account. But we'll see. Hello, teacher FX. Too black, too strong. Too black, too strong. I'm definitely not sure what you mean by too black, too strong. Too black. Too black and though, or great, great. UJ. Mhm. Does it not make sense to leave your funded account in 5 to 7% profit at all times and not withdraw all of it because it just gives you a larger drawdown and helps you keep the account longer? Well, with some prop firms, I see that they do it like that. You cannot even withdraw all the money. It kind of puts you at more risk. But some prop firms allow you to withdraw all the money. I mean, if you do it like that, it's okay. But at the same time, someone might prefer to withdraw all of his money because until the money gets to your big account, it's not yours. I mean, the money is sitting there on the funded account, anything can happen. And if this 5 7% is not in your big account, it's not yours. It's not even 5 or 7%. That's one of the thing, because with funded companies, we have seen that so many times. A lot of them appears and then disappears. So at this point, if someone wants to leave 5 7% as a buffer, that's okay. But I would say that, I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense because until the money is in my bank account, it's not mine. It's still on the funded account. It's for the market necessarily. So until it touches my bank account, it's not for me. So I like to withdraw all the money if that is offered to me. And probably if I had a buffer of 5 or 7% drawdown, I would have been in drawdown and would have probably, I mean, risk more and be in a bigger drawdown. Lord Banks in the house. Is it Lord Banks? The Lord Banks. I mean, I believe Lord Banks trading the 2 a.m. London session. Yeah, I mean, the daily loss limit definitely prevents you from risking more or losing more than 5% in a day. But besides the daily loss limit, you have the overall drawdown. Like if you have an account, you put it at 12%, for example. You withdraw 5%, you leave 7%. In your head, you have 7% room before. getting to the initial balance. Yes, sir. Lord Banks, happy to see you here. Thanks for the support. So definitely you know in your head that you have 7% left before getting to the initial balance. That means you kind of feel it feels like you are, I mean, even if you lose that 7%, you're still not under stress. You're still not stressed about getting into drawdown because in your mind the drawdown will start from the initial balance. That's how it is for most prop firms. So in a way, you would be more prone to risk more if you have that buffer than if you didn't have the buffer. But as I said, the way that I see it is the money is not mine until it reaches my bank account. So that's why I don't like the idea of having a buffer on my funded account. But if someone do, definitely you can do that. I mean, some prop firms even prevent you from, I mean, taking out all the money. So it's definitely a good idea. So far, UJ is doing its thing, very slow for this session. And as we can expect it from this very large range day from yesterday, I mean, still today for me, but yesterday in the market, it was a very large range day. Let me see. It's 169, 170. That's big. And I believe since the opening, we have made 30 points. I believe here, uh since 33 right now. And I'm still bearish on UJ. So we have marked out these two zones where we can expect price to return to before continuing on a bearish movement. This zone here at the 25% retracement, we might see a reaction there, or this zone up there. Lord Banks, see, I mean, although it's hard for me to wake up at 3 a.m., that's hard because I sleep late. I go to sleep around midnight, kinda, New York time. So 3 a.m. that would be 1 hour of sleep. I have to wake up at 6, 7 usually. So and one thing I don't like to do personally is trade retracements. And I mean, when I said retrace, like you have a price leg up, and you expect a retracement before continuing. I don't like to trade the retracement price leg, because you never sure. Even though you might have some um, zones, some areas of interest that you're looking for price to react from, but you never sure of where price is gonna stop and reverse, continuing and stuff. So as we're seeing here, price is doing some retracement, I would say. That I would see as liquidity being taken down there below these lows probably. And at the same time, we can see these equal highs here. That looks too good. A buy here would be interesting. Gold is not moving so much. Currently, I would say little consolidation here on the 15-minute time frame. So far, we're seeing a nice reaction here from this fair value gap. Let's see if it holds. We need to see some big push up here. Some very similar movement here on AUDJPY. Like a buy trade here makes more sense to me than buying here, as it was too close to the target first, and second, price moves already started. But with this retracement, it offers a cheaper price and better opportunity for buying, which is why I usually like to wait. When you're waiting, there's two things. You might get a better entry or you might miss the move. And I prefer missing the move than getting a lesser good entry or a bad entry. Because usually when you buy a little bit high, you kind of chasing price and you end up having a bad risk to reward ratio. You end up having a big stop loss and not so much of a profit. So let's see if it's willing to go up there, take out these highs here, and most probably taking out this high as well. We have together 10 minutes left before we say goodbye to each other. I've been in front of the screen since this morning, since 7, so it's like more than 12 hours now. We have to rest the eyes, the head, the mind. That's one important thing in trading as well. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not gonna make um, a long time trading. You're not gonna have a long time trading. You gotta take care of yourself. Sleep well, eat well, healthy, exercise, because your mental needs to be in good form for trading. once price take out these highs, I will be moving my stops to break even.
Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and all the doubters, they're just young downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring. Yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart? Are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs. Are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just
Gold seems to be breaking out of this little range of his, probably going for the imbalances down there. Seems to be breaking through this range here, or maybe not.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. Yeah, there's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to comb with you, just go get your own tissue. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to do, man, they don't know shit.
Could be interested in a gold short here. Once it takes out this low here, that will definitely confirm this move down below this low at least, and this low, but we're not seeing confirmation yet. Here I'm moving my stops to break even at this point. We've just taken out these highs here. Moving the stop loss to break even. I believe that's a 1-to-5 risk to reward ratio. When the stop was down there. It's 1-to-6. During Asian session, usually if my trade is in profit and it's not moving fast, I move my stop loss because Asian is so tricky in terms of taking out stop losses. Asian and London session. Take out your stop loss and when price is slowing down, well, I guess maybe the market's waiting for the AUD CPI, I don't know, but it is pretty slow. Usually it moves faster. This is playing around inside of this gap here. Hmm. Well, I believe it was a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I mean, I was there today, this morning in New York session, and tonight again. So I believe it's time for me to say goodbye, and hopefully we can see each other tomorrow evening for another session. Good night to everyone in New York session, and good morning, good evening to the other time zones. And until tomorrow, see you. Bye bye.